Welcome to Bears in Exile. Today is Thursday, January the 17th, and this is a quick hit on the indexes. Well, the market had a nice day. We've been saying that there's nothing to fear. What else is there to add to it? Well, tonight is kind of interesting because we have a little bit of a conundrum. Here we have the Dow. We broke and closed above the previous high here. Excellent, right? That's bullish. And we pierced into, but not completely going over, the high above that. There's nothing wrong with that. We still have all the indicators pointing up. Even the MACD histogram ticked up. So from an indicator's perspective, there's nothing to worry about. Candle-wise, nothing to worry about. Pulled back a little bit off the high. There's nothing to worry about. Except that there's a couple of differences tonight. And when I look at the Dow and I say there's nothing to worry about, that applies for all of them. The Dow, TNA, SPX, COMPQ, they all look like this to some extent or another. They don't look like there's a problem. At some point we do need a retrace, but there's no obvious signals by themselves to suggest that one is imminent. We could just keep melting up. But this is what I'm going to do tonight. Here is the warning signs that we might be close to one. I'm not afraid of one if one comes, because that's natural, and it's not going to be the end of the world if we have a bubble corrective move. Not at this point. We have the upper Bollinger Band finally moving down. It's curling down. So if we run into that, there should be a reaction. What does that line up with? It lines up with the top of this previous high perfectly. That is at 13,650. Only 54 points to the upside from where we are, if we get that high. What else do we have? We have excessive separation in the short-term moving averages. So we know there's a problem here. We know that we need a bubble corrective move. We know that a bubble corrective move will not even take us into the previous high. So I'm not worried about that. We do have a darker blip in the heat map today, and with the move, that should be expected, right? So we know that there's a couple of very minor things that might add up to us stalling out in the short term, which isn't a problem. There's no need to go over SPX and COMPQ and all those other things, so I'm just going to move to the VIX. And here we are with the VIX. The VIX has been just destroyed. And everyone is saying, oh, the VIX is finished. It's going to go down to 3. We're going to have to reverse split it. This is the end of the VIX. We did have an uptick a couple days back. And at the time, we're not impressed by it. There's no way that it was going back up to 15 in the short term, not with the sentiment that the market currently has. But today, we ended with a semi-proper looking hammer, which by itself, and especially it being the VIX, means virtually nothing. But we also got an uptick today. And this is interesting because we had SPX green and we have the VIX green, which is not supposed to happen, which means that somebody is lying. And we go through the seasons where, when this happens, the VIX is lying, and we go through the seasons where SPX is lying. Which one is it today? I'm not sure. Does it look like the VIX, after being destroyed, and we have these massively extended, bubbly, short-term moving average bar, is it time for this to have a bubble corrective move? Well, we know that we need one in the indexes overall. and we know that we need one here. So is now the time for that. The target for this would be just shy of 14.5, which is not the end of the world because you're firmly bullish when you're underneath 15. So even if you get a bubble corrective move in VIX at this moment, hitting its complete target does not change the overall perspective that the market is bullish. So, yes, this is nice. We have it going sideways for more than a few days at the moment. It wasn't just a, back here it would have been more of trying a snapback and the target was too high. But beyond that, MACD histogram is going up. The MACD, this is a first day uptick on the MACD itself. We finally, for the very first time since all this happened, have a first day uptick on the RSI. We have the stochastics rising, and we have the CCI at least trying to pick itself up off the floor. But we also have the 14-day RSI moving average still moving down, which is perfect. You could have a secondary reset here, or a partial secondary reset, where you go up, hit the upside target, bubble corrective move, fix all of this, and then it can finish its move out to the downside, which is perfect for the bullish perspective. So, is it time for the indexes to have a little bit of a pullback? It looks probable to me. Could be totally wrong and just busts out. It goes to 15K all in one go. But it's something to consider. Something to consider. And that's going to be it. There's, like I said, not much to worry about at this moment. And even the pullback is not a problem. As a matter of fact, this just occurs to me too. We're so worried about, here's SPX, this previous high, having a bubble corrective move that would stay above it. We're actually getting to the point now, if we had a downtick tomorrow, that would take us right here, and these will be slightly higher tomorrow, but a downtick tomorrow on SPX would give us a target, which would be essentially the previous highs. And that is completely natural to happen when you break out. So even though there's not as much time has elapsed here as I would like before it comes down to test the previous high, technically, you could do that tomorrow and it would fulfill almost perfectly. Almost perfectly. As always, all investing decisions are your own. This chart and video are for entertainment, educational, and consumption of time purposes only. Thank you.